Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books and marketing expert covering Disney. Disney gets killed, loses billions selling off a streaming service. Let's get into the story. Before we do, please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate you guys. Coming from the Wall Street Journal, Disney's India unit takes a valuation hit in planned sale. Disney is selling their India operation that they acquired when they bought Fox. This is something that had a valuation of anywhere from $7 to $16 billion. They're selling a controlling interest in it, 60% of it, at a total valuation of $3.9 billion. This puts them down anywhere from $3 to $12 billion just on this deal. That's why it is a big deal when Disney loses money on their movies, but this is much bigger than what they've been losing producing bad movies for the last year or two. That's around $1 billion, $1.2 billion a year. This is a $3 to $12 billion loss all in one transaction. But they have to do this. They really have no choice left. Disney just lost an important lawsuit yesterday trying to get back control of what was the Reedy Creek District so they could have their own private government again in Florida. Well, their lawsuit was thrown out and now they're appealing it. They're trying to get a second chance. From The Hollywood Reporter, Disney appeals loss in lawsuit against Florida Governor Ron DeSantis over special tax district. From Fortune, Elon Musk and Bob Iger top the list of America's most overrated CEOs as ranked by their peers. We can understand why people might be critical of Bob Iger. He was supposed to save the company, and that has not happened. Also from The Hollywood Reporter, Disney activist investor reveals which board members he's targeting to oust. Nelson Peltz's Triumph Partners has said it would ask shareholders to withhold their votes for current board members Michael B.G. Froman and Maria Elena Lagomasino. From the Wall Street Journal, Disney's India unit takes valuation hit in planned sale. Viacom 18's purchase of 60% of Disney's India business reunites the company with the two executives who built it. That is the one plus side of this. Even though Disney's losing billions, when you get the founders involved, sometimes they can save something that's turned into a mess, and their India business is a mess. Disney has reached a preliminary agreement to sell 60% of its India media business in a deal that values the overseas operation at $3.9 billion, dramatically less than what it was worth when Disney acquired it in 2019. That's really just around 5 years ago, and they've lost billions of dollars on this thing. The entertainment giant signed a memorandum of understanding in late December to merge its India business with Viacom 18, a partnership between billionaire Mukesh Ambani's Reliance Industries, Paramount Global, and Bodhi Tree Systems, according to people familiar with the details of the deal. Bodhi Tree is an investment fund founded by media scion James Murdoch and former Disney India chief Uday Shankar. Under the agreement's terms, Disney will retain ownership of 40% of its India operations, while Reliance will own 51%, and Bodhi Tree will own 9%. Disney's India business includes the Star India family of television networks and the streaming service Hotstar, as well as a minority stake in the satellite TV company Tata Sky. Viacom 18 is expected to pay about $1.5 billion in cash, in addition to stock, in return for its stake in the merged company. The deal, which hasn't been completed and could change, is expected to close in February, the people familiar with the matter said. The drop in value for the India business is a sign of how difficult it has been for big media companies to navigate a market that is home to 1.43 billion people who speak dozens of languages. Disney has been exploring strategic options for the India business since at least July. The merger with Viacom 18 reunites Murdoch and Shankar with a business they spent years growing. Murdoch helped build Star India when he was chairman of its former parent company, the European broadcaster Sky, which was then part of Fox. Shankar was CEO of Star India for a decade until 2020 when he departed. In 2021, Murdoch and Shankar joined to form Bodhi Tree, an investment vehicle focused on buying media assets in India that is backed by $1.7 billion from the Qatar Investment Authority and Comcast. Bodhi Tree invested more than $500 million in Viacom 18. One of Disney's challenges in India has been determining how much to pay for the rights to broadcast cricket, which was introduced to South Asia in the 18th century by British colonists and has grown into the region's most popular spectator sport. The cost of TV and streaming rights to various cricket competitions has risen in recent years exacerbating the mismatch between the large investment required to supply the country's hundreds of millions of viewers with original shows and live sports content and the comparatively low prices that most Indian subscribers can afford. When Disney bought most of the 21st Century Fox's global entertainment assets in 2019, the India business was considered a crown jewel of the deal, in large part because Star held several key packages of cricket rights. Estimates by people familiar with the details of the deal and third-party analysts pegged its value at the time between $7 billion and $16 billion. But as competition for the country's TV and streaming audiences heated up, Disney found it hard to maintain that value, which is why now they value it at $3.9 billion. In June 2022, Viacom18 outbid Disney for the streaming rights to the popular Indian Premier League cricket competition, paying $2.6 billion for the right to stream IPL cricket for the next 5 years. The consequence of losing the streaming rights became clear in August when Disney said in its quarterly earnings report that it had lost more than 12 million streaming subscribers in India in the space of 3 months. That decline was largely the result of customer cancellations after Hotstar dropped IPL and delivered a blow to Disney's ambitions to rapidly grow its global streaming subscriptions. Hotstar's subscriber count, which is included in the total reported global subscriber base of Disney+, peaked at 61.3 million in October 2022. As of the most recent quarter, the service had 37.6 million subscribers. Hotstar subscribers pay Disney an average of 70 cents a month, compared with $6.70 in other countries, including wealthier markets like the US and Europe, making it hard for the company to profit from streaming in India. The India business has also been hurt in recent years by the falling value of the rupee, which has declined about 20% against the dollar since the Fox deal closed in 2019. Other sports rights deals have created further challenges for Disney in India. Last year, for example, Disney entered an agreement to sell the 4-year broadcast rights for a separate set of cricket tournaments run by the International Cricket Council to rival Z Entertainment for $1.4 billion. Unfortunately, though, Z recently told Disney that it wouldn't be able to make the required payment to the ICC, according to people familiar with the matter. So they're not getting that money. If you're thinking to yourself, maybe Rupert Murdoch actually made an incredible deal in selling his entertainment assets to Disney, many of us feel that way. It does look like Bob Iger overpaid for the Fox assets. Also happening today, Disney appeals loss in lawsuit against Florida Governor Ron DeSantis over special tax district. Federal judge dismissed the lawsuit and found that Disney cannot bring a lawsuit against DeSantis and his allies who assumed control of the special tax district that governs Walt Disney World. Disney lost its little private government that it had on loan from the state of Florida. They could have kept it if they had kept their mouth shut and cooperated with the state, who is very generously hosting them and providing them an incredible opportunity for their theme parks. Disney is appealing its loss in a lawsuit against Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who allegedly violated the entertainment giant's First Amendment rights by taking over a special tax district with the authority to control development around its theme park. In a notice filed on Thursday, Disney challenged a ruling dismissing the suit to a federal appeals court. The legal battle stems from the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District, the CFTOD, whose members were appointed by DeSantis, voting an agreement that transferred certain powers of Disney's now-dissolved special district back to the company. Disney claimed that the governor and his allies took over the district to retaliate over its criticism of a Florida education law limiting classroom discussion on sexuality with very young children. That's what the law was all about. Disney didn't like that. They thought that was their opportunity to let the world know what Disney really stands for, which happened to be the opposite of what the people of Florida actually wanted and voted for. DeSantis, in a much-needed victory after ending his White House bid, secured on Wednesday dismissal of the suit. A federal judge ruled that Disney cannot sue the governor and DeSantis' hand-picked board that now controls the district in which the company's park operates. And in an endorsement of the law Disney challenged, the court concluded that the statute reshaping the leadership structure and granting DeSantis the authority to appoint every member of the tax district's governing body is facially constitutional and cannot be struck down with a free speech claim. If the suit is not revived, Disney is left to fight in state court, where it's fighting a legal battle brought by DeSantis, accusing it of illegally cobbling together a series of 11th-hour deals to transfer the powers of its now-dissolved special district back to Disney before he assumed control of the board. And Disney absolutely did do that. It's beyond dispute that Disney did this last-minute trick to try to continue to control the special district, even though there were laws passed and proper authorities took control away from Disney. Disney tried to circumvent all that to retain control of this district. Disney's also dealing with Nelson Peltz. Disney activist investor reveals which board members he's targeting to oust. Nelson Peltz wants a couple of the board members on Disney's board gone. That will open up a spot for him and for his hand-picked buddy, Jay Rizzullo, who used to be a chief financial officer at Disney and knows everything about the company. If Nelson Peltz and his pick, Jay Rizzullo, can get on the board of directors of Disney, that company will get turned around. Nelson Peltz's battle to join the Disney board has crossed another crucial step. Peltz's Trian Partners on Wednesday released its preliminary proxy statement, in which it said it would ask shareholders to withhold their votes for current Disney board members Michael B.G. Froman and Maria Elena Lagomaciano, and instead vote for Peltz and former Disney CFO Jay Rizzullo to join the board. Trian argues against voting for Froman, quote, because he has no experience as a public company director outside of Disney and has spent most of the past 25 years of his career in fields which appear largely unrelated to Disney's businesses, working as a federal trade representative, a national security advisor, and a financial executive. Trian's argument against Lagomaciano is, quote, because her background in wealth management also appears largely unrelated to Disney's business, and due to her position on Disney's compensation committee, in which she has overseen a number of misaligned compensation practices. Peltz's Trian Group officially nominated him and Rizzullo last month, with Disney's board arguing that Peltz and Rizzullo's nominations should be rejected, and laying out their rationale why. Blackwell's Capital, another activist, also nominated its board slate of Craig Hatkoff, Jessica Schell, and Leah Sullivan. Blackwell's is asking shareholders to withhold votes for all Disney and Trian nominees and to only vote for its own nominees. Disney and Trian have each asked shareholders to withhold votes for the Blackwell's nominees. With the respective board slates set, the next step will be to hold the annual meeting and let shareholders vote. That being said, there is always the chance for a last-minute deal between the parties, given the high cost associated with lobbying shareholders. It can be anywhere from $75 to $100 million just for Nelson Peltz's company to push their promotional effort to try to get on the board. And it doesn't mean they're going to get on the board. It also will cost Disney money, time, and attention if they continue to fight Nelson Peltz. So it is possible they could make a deal. Most analysts put it at about 50-50. I can't say any different. Hopefully he gets on there. Third-party firms like Institutional Shareholder Services are also expected to weigh in on what shareholders should do, and their recommendations may carry weight with firms like BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, and other institutional investors. From Fortune, Elon Musk and Bob Iger topped the list of America's most overrated CEO as ranked by their peers. The number 2 most overrated CEO, according to 302 votes, is Disney's Bob Iger, showing business, directors, and analysts may not think Disney's treasures are worth their weight in gold. For the first time since 2012, Walt Disney's entertainment company fell short of the top 10 All-Stars list, instead securing the 12th spot. The empire of Mickey Mouse has been busy. There was a battle of Bobs between the former CEO Bob Chapek and his predecessor and successor Bob Iger. The company's $10 billion losses on its streaming products since 2019, it's actually closer to $11 billion, and a lack of cultural shifts that have left workers and viewers feeling ostracized by cliched or superhero-driven storylines. Bob Iger, like Clint Eastwood's character in the Universal Pictures film The Iger Sanction, returned to work out of retirement to help steady Disney's sales to profitability, quickly cutting 7,000 jobs to try to save about $7.5 billion in costs. Still, Disney shares keep falling, declining 9% year over year and a hit 9-year low in stock price last summer. Disney is absolutely getting crushed on the sale of their India business. They will retain a stake of 40%. If the business does really, really well, they might make some money back. But as of right now, they're going to lose anywhere from $3 to $12 billion on this deal, getting absolutely killed on it. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Always love to see your ideas. Please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.